So we might begin. So welcome everyone, especially those that haven't been here before. So welcome. Also those connecting online in different places. So finding a comfortable sitting position. Aligning our body with some degree of symmetry, balance, poise, enabling an inner mindful presence. Our eyes gently closed, helping to bring awareness within. And then having our initial deep, relaxing, letting go breath. A nice deep breath sends a signal to our brain to release endorphins to soothe the muscles, tendons, tissue of our body. And the outgoing breath is also a psychological symbol of letting go. So breathing out, letting go of issues, worries, concerns, moving the mind from the ways of the world, roles and responsibilities, giving ourselves this gift of simply being. Meditation is an invitation to simply be, breathe, know in the present. The present being this place and point of existence. So meditation is realizing the point of existence, the present moment, making that real for us. And particularly by coming to our senses both literally and metaphorically. That idea of coming to clarity and coming to the senses so that we're sensing more accurately. And using our breath as our primary reference point or connecting element into the present moment. But firstly, just bringing awareness down into our body, away from the busyness of the happening of the day, the happening of the week. So feeling into our body, feeling our body sitting here. Feeling grounded, settled, centered, present. And noticing a few contact sensations, a sense of touch. Finding some touch points, feet touching the floor, being aware of that particular sensation. Mindfully noticing, sensing, feeling our feet connecting with the floor, sense of touch. And feeling the touch of our body against the chair, the cushion or meditation stool. Noticing that, feeling that touch. Then becoming aware of the placement of our hands and fingers. Maybe one hand touching the other, so sensing and feeling that. Maybe the hands touching the fabric of our clothes. So just noticing, again, feeling, contact sensation. And bringing awareness up to the shoulders, a place where stress tension collects. Relaxing the shoulders without disturbing the uprightness of our back. Relaxing the shoulders. Then feeling down into the chest area, relaxing the chest area so we can breathe freely. Then feeling down into the abdomen belly area, a place where we often feel emotion and even hold emotion. So noticing how it feels in the abdomen belly area. Relaxing that area if it feels tense, tight, especially so our diaphragm can extend fully. And then feeling the soothing motion as we breathe, the gentle rising up with the in-breath, relaxing down with the out-breath, letting our body find its own natural rhythm and process of breathing with that rising, relaxing, rising, relaxing. And then bringing awareness up further to our face, noticing our face as we refine our awareness to sense and feel sensations on our face. Maybe even feeling the air connecting with our face. And then from the sense of touch, moving awareness to the sense of sight and seeing as we perceive some degree of light coming in through the closed eyelids. Perception of lightness, a brightness, a color, a patterning, or just a blankness. Simply seeing and visual experience the sense of sight, seeing, just seeing. And then from sense of sight and seeing, becoming aware of the sense of sounds and hearing. Noticing any background sounds, a few sounds from in this room. Maybe some subtle sounds from outside the room. Not thinking about the sounds, but just hearing, listening. Even hearing the silence between certain sounds. The soundscape of life just here, just now. And then noticing the other two physical senses, sense of smell and taste. Maybe noticing the aroma, fragrance, scent in this room. Any residue, taste, flavors in the mouth, just noticing. And then the last sense being the mental sense of thoughts, thinking as a mental sense. All thoughts occur as a mental image that we see or a mental voice sound that we hear. But even being objective to thoughts, not getting caught up into the thoughts, not being caught up in mental comment, commentary, critique, concern, complaint, but simply becoming aware of the flow and fabric of experience through the senses, pure and simple, enabling a calm, objective, receptive, attentive knowing, the knowing of the flowing of experience in the present, pure and simple. free from wanting, free from not wanting, aversion, free from confusion. Mind moments that are free, peaceful, present. And then bringing our awareness to the breath as a helpful reference point for staying present, the naturally occurring flow of the breath at the nose nostril area, mindfully noticing the in-breath, mindfully noticing the out-breath, feeling each breath in each present moment, simply being present, enabling an inner ease and contentment, allowing the mind to settle into inner calm, clarity, peace, and presence. Mindfulness of the inflow, outflow of the breath. Please help yourself to some tea biscuits if you wish. So winter can be a time of flus and coughs and colds, as I mentioned last Thursday on our group, and that whilst it's important to be aware and wary of such viruses, the Buddha spoke about the significant virus that affects and infects all people, which is more prevalent and virulent, and certainly can be easily caught, not just by physical connection, but by other more um, amazing sort of widespread connections that we can have. Even just by reading an email, you can get this virus. Even by looking at something from years and years ago, you can get this virus. And this virus is the virus of greed, anger, and ignorance that affects the mind. And the whole of the Buddha's path is a practice path to help bring about alleviating this virus, this infection, to bring about real relief, real healing, spiritual healing. The ultimate healing is the mind is completely freed of greed, anger, ignorance, becoming fully enlightened, fully peaceful. And that's then the teaching and the practice and the purpose of Buddhism, to help bring about that relief of the stress and dis-ease and suffering that comes from being infected with this psycho-spiritual virus. The Buddha said that all suffering, individually and globally, is because of some degree, some variation of greed, anger, ignorance. And again, that it's about looking into and looking after ourselves so that we're able to become more immune to being infected, and an inner healing that can occur. So last week I mentioned that along these lines, this virus that we're infected with, if our mind is unenlightened, then yes, we have some degree of greed, clinging, craving, wanting, desiring, some degree of anger, aversion, irritation, frustration, even into hatred, some degree of not seeing or understanding things clearly, some degree of illusion, delusion, confusion, self-centeredness, conceit, and so forth. And so that we can actually do something about that. And ultimately, yes, I think people want to be at ease. People want to be happy. People want to be content. The Buddha said that contentment is the greatest health, so, and the greatest wealth. So that to be able to bring that about. So the antivirus to greed, anger, ignorance is generosity. Generosity, kindness, and wisdom. So the opposite of greed, anger, ignorance, generosity, kindness, and wisdom. And so that we can cultivate, we can develop those, and that helps to create an immunity so that we're less likely to be infected. And I've put together this word psycho-spiritual immunity, or psycho-spiritual immunology, to deal with this spiritual illness. Again, it's not so much a physical illness, it infects the mind, the heart, the quality of our consciousness. And there's various things that we can do to develop our psycho-spiritual immune system and immunity, to strengthen that so that we can be immune to being infected either by other people or situations, circumstances, external things, and also being infected by our own thoughts, our own sort of inner states, in the same way that we have a physical immune system, which is really important for our survival. If that physical immune system is weakened, we're more susceptible to, again, viruses and bacteria and toxins, things that maybe come from outside, but also our own cells that maybe are being produced wrongly. So like a cancer cell. So if we have a weakened physical immune system, then we can be infected. So the body doesn't deal with that. One cell divides into 2, into 4, into 16, into 32, into 64, and so forth. So in the same way that we can deal with or appreciate the physical immune system, this psycho, as in psychological, spiritual, not just physically based immune system, we need to develop that, support that, look after that, strengthen that, care for that, so that we're not infected, causing ourselves and even then infecting others with the virus of greed, anger, ignorance. There's many things that we can do, certainly meditation, one thing to strengthen our psycho-spiritual immune system. Many things, but this evening I wanted to talk about one particular way, which in a sense is like the quintessential spiritual practice. It's even transcends, I would say, Buddhism. It's just good common sense, and that any spiritual religious path that's of any worth will advocate and support this particular practice. And the practice is called the Four Right Efforts, which is certainly part of Buddhism. The Buddha spoke about the four right efforts. Um, as many of you are aware, that a lot of the Buddha's teachings is into categories, sort of numbers of things. Four right efforts, the four noble truths, or the five hindrances, the five aggregates, or the seven factors of enlightenment, or the eightfold path, or the 12-point dependent origination, etc., etc. But so the four right efforts, quite significant. They're on the chart over there. That's the right chart, yeah. And they're worth sort of getting to know, being aware of, so that you can then apply them and use them in daily life, because they're really, really practical. They're not about belief, not about doctrine, not about dogma. They're about sort of a really applied, practical approach to looking after ourselves, developing our psycho-spiritual immune system, and enabling more ease and joy and meaning and worth in life. So the first of these, and the full right effort is just to say that effort, if we look at the word effort, effort is energy plus intention. So effort is energy, so there needs to be energy there plus intention. If you've got the energy but without the intention, it doesn't work. If you've got the intention but no energy, it doesn't work. So effort is energy plus intention. And even effort or right effort is one of the elements of the eight-factored practice path in Buddhism, the Eightfold Path. So the four right efforts, the first effort is putting in the effort to avoiding. So not going there, not getting caught up, avoiding. And so what we're avoiding here are being caught into, so avoiding being caught into thoughts, mental states, emotions, behaviors, including speech, associations, so with people and situations that are motivated by or leading to greed, anger, or ignorance. So putting in the effort to avoid. Don't go there. Don't get caught up in there. Avoid. The example might be that someone might say, "Oh, you coming to the party tonight? We're going to be, it's going to be a real indulgence. There'll be everything that you want, anything that you want, any drug you want, any alcohol you want, any sex you want. Come along, come along. It's going to be all happening." So there's going to be a lot of greed and desire and lust, and maybe people getting angry and upset, and a lot of confusion, delusion, sort of no wisdom. So it's like, okay, I think I'm going to avoid that one if you want. So that might be an extreme situation, but it's like if you know that you're a little bit weak, I'm feeling a bit sort of weak in spirit, and I know that when I am, I might sort of indulge in something that's maybe not so good. So avoid might be, I'm going to avoid going into the kitchen, because if I do, I'm going to be open that fridge, and the stuff that's supposed to be there for the weekend, it's going to be gone. So avoid, avoid, avoid. So it's putting in the effort to hold yourself back. Don't go there. And again, it includes not getting caught up in that thought, because that thought's going to lead to another thought, to 10 thoughts, to a whole sort of mental state, feeling, emotion state, maybe into speech, into behavior, into actions and so forth, situations, circumstances. So avoid. And that can be sometimes the most difficult thing, avoiding, because there can be a natural inclination to get caught into things that are pleasurable, desire, or into sort of getting caught up in anger or getting caught up in delusion and confusion and frustration and self-centeredness. So putting in the effort to avoid. The next right effort is putting in the effort to abandon. So this means we've already got caught up in something that's not so great. So whether it's a thought, a mental state, it might be agitation, anger, frustration, irritation, jealousy, and so forth. So mental state, an emotion, a behavior, including speech, an association, so somebody that we've connected with, or a situation, an environment, a place that's not healthy, not good. So if we find, oh, I'm there, I've got caught up in it, this is not good, this is not going to be helpful, I'm going to regret this, this is going to lead to something not worthwhile, then get out of there, abandon, let go, move away, put it down. And again, that takes effort, especially if it's maybe part of habit. We get caught up doing something and we know, "Ah, why am I doing this?" So yes, abandon, drop it, let it go, put it down, walk away, step out. And that can sometimes require, real strength, especially if it's around people that are all sort of caught up and where are you going? Where are you going? So well, it's probably time for me to leave. I can see things are probably not aligned to maybe what I feel is healthy for me. So getting away, moving away. And that can, even though it takes effort, but it can save a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of stress, a lot of money, even a lot of confusion. The work that I do as a psychologist, often it's dealing with helping people deal with things that they shouldn't have got caught up in, whether it's saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing or being with the wrong people, and the emotional consequences of that can be huge. So applying the effort to get out of there ASAP can be really, really helpful. The next right effort is putting in the effort to develop. So what we're developing then are thoughts and mental states and emotions and behaviors, including speech, associations and situations not motivated by greed or anger or ignorance, but motivated by the opposite, generosity, kindness, and wisdom. So actually putting in the effort to develop those things, so the good stuff. So yes, the first two, avoid, or if you've got caught up, abandon, drop it, get out of there, let it go. But then part of the whole practice is putting in the effort to develop the things that are wholesome and healthy and meaningful and worthwhile. Things like meditation, things like positive, healthy thoughts and mental states that we may have that are maybe aided by meditation as well. Loving kindness meditation, healthy behaviors, associations and situations like a association of a meditation group. Like that's a wholesome thing to develop, and the situation of a meditation group to align to that. And as long as we're engaged in that, then we're less likely to be caught into the negative stuff. But it doesn't stop there, because it's not just about developing the good, it's about keeping it going, sustaining it, or maintaining it. So putting in the effort to maintain the healthy thoughts and mental states and emotions like kindness and generosity and compassion and forgiveness and equanimity and so forth. Putting in the effort to maintain the connections with wholesome, healthy, meaningful, worthwhile people, and also situations as well, things that are healthy for us, exercising, going to the gym, and places that are worthwhile. So putting the effort to maintain it, keep it going, keeping the routine going. Because often, yes, we can put in the effort to develop, but so often after a little while, the effort sort of wanes and becomes less, and then the good habit is lost. We go back to some of the habit that maybe are not healthy, or they're just sort of not like they're not healthy, but there's just no habit. The habit of getting up early and doing a meditation. Yes, it's great, and it's maybe easier in the summer. It's a bit warmer getting up. It's not so easy in the winter, but develop the habit and then keep it going, maintain it, sustain it. And so this then becomes a practice in itself. And it may be that we're not having to really do too much in terms of avoiding or abandoning the negative, but it's putting in the effort to develop and maintain the good stuff. And in doing so, that develops a sense of self-worth and self-esteem and feeling happy and good in ourselves, appreciating our worth, and seeing the flow-on effect of that as well. So it flows on into quality of life and ease and well-being and people that we connect with, opportunities that occur for us, and also amazingly that like the physical immune system, if you have a strong physical immune system, you can be around people that are sneezing and coughing and not so well, but our immune system's strong, we don't get infected. And so in the same way, if you have a strong psycho-spiritual immune system, because we've been developing the generosity, kindness, and wisdom through the four right efforts, then it means that we can be around people that are caught up, confused, distressed, angered, etc. And we can be immune, unaffected by them, and even putting out a positive energy so that we infect them with some kindness and some generosity and some wisdom and understanding and so forth. Changing the vibe, changing the feel, changing the mood, creating a more healthy, positive environment for them and for us as well. It's so easy to see how energy and vibe can affect other people, especially people that have sort of a low mood. It can affect a whole room. And someone comes in heavy mood, heavy vibe, down and sort of maybe a bad attitude. And they say a few things. It's like, oh, everyone sort of goes quiet and sort of one feels it. But at the same time, sense of someone that feels more positive and vibrant and compassionate and caring, and that can then affect the mood, the vibe, the feel in a great positive way. And I think that said many times before that no other time in human history are we in so much more need of this positive, good vibe energy that's motivated by generosity and kindness and wisdom, because there's such a ongoing awareness, particularly through all the various ways that people are connecting now than before, to have that sort of good vibe energy, because there's so much negativity. It's so easy just to pick up a phone and connect into thousands of people through social media and read something that's negative and that infects. Someone can infect thousands of people all at once. It's amazing, sort of the way in which the media can work and social media. It's amazing. So we have to be really, really careful to strengthen and protect ourselves so that we're not infected by this stuff that we're privy to. And especially, you could say that a lot of this stuff that's not healthy comes down to, greed, all the advertisements that, you go to Facebook and there's advertisements, go onto YouTube to watch a video of a meditation teacher and the adverts come up to sell you something. It's like, no. And also just stuff that's totally not wise at all, views and opinions that are really, really negative, that are really, really destructive. So it's like we have to strengthen ourselves, otherwise we'll be infected and become unwell with the three strain or tri-strain virus. So an amazing that a 2,500-year-old remedy that the Buddha put forth, the four right efforts, still is as relevant and practical and applicable and approachable now in the 21st century as it was between the 5th and 6th century BC when the Buddha lived and created it. So the four right efforts, something really, really worthwhile to engage. And in a way, they also summarize as a little saying that I've got the translation of a Pali teaching of the Buddha, which goes, every evil never doing, and in wholesomeness increasing, and one's heart well purifying. This is the Buddha's teachings. So every evil or every ill never doing, and in wholesomeness increasing, and one's heart, mind, heart well purifying. This is the Buddha's teachings. So avoiding or letting go of the negative, developing the wholesome, the good, purifying the mind, heart. That's what the teaching is about. And again, you don't need to be a Buddhist or appreciate Buddhism to realize, yeah, well, that stands for reason. That's pretty good. That's what's going to be helpful. So please do put in the efforts to look after yourselves and protect your psycho-spiritual immune system. Any thoughts or questions about the four right efforts? About looking after our well-being and the well-being of others. Do you feel that you pretty much do the four right efforts anyway? Sort of like it's part of who you are, how you operate? Not putting in effort, not getting caught up, distracted with the negative stuff, and letting go of the negative stuff if you have got caught up in it, and developing healthy thoughts and mental states and speech and actions and connections with people, situations, keeping it going.
Something you try to do every day, I think, isn't it? I think you have to work
Ideally, yeah.
every day to do it. Well, that's what I find.
It's ongoing, and I guess the more mindful you are, then the more you can see, oh, that's not a healthy thought. It might be just an average thought, an ordinary thought, a thought that you've thought before that other people think, but you go, oh, that's involved in wanting, clinging, craving, desiring, and is it making me feel at ease? No, it's causing me to want to go and get something or do something. Do I need that? No. So it's like, okay, let it go, let it go.
That can be hard sometimes these days,
Of course.
I think. Like, as you say, on the adverts, and every time, you open your phone. I don't use the internet a lot. But I just can't, it's like, it does drive me crazy.
Yeah. Particularly the internet. It's like, again, at no other time in human history can you get something so quickly.
Yeah.
You don't have to sort of, I've got to save probably for about 3 or 4 months before I can get that product, which I will actually go into a shop or maybe I need to order it and so forth. But it's like, get it instantly on credit from the internet, and they'll get it to you in 3 days' time from across the world, and you'll get it. Amazon's delivered it. It's like, wow. So it really feeds into people's desire or distracting to get this stuff. And the learning is, well, you've got it now. You happy? Fulfilled? Complete? Oh, no, but maybe there's another one. Or in a month's time, there's an ad that's there says, you bought this a month ago, and now we've got a better product. Yeah. Maybe we've got a yellow one.
Yeah.
We'll get a red one. Get a smaller one. Get a younger one. You'll be happy.
But also, when you say the communication is easier, because it's not actually that what they're saying is the community is not easier now, is it? Having community?
No, it's more difficult. Well, it depends upon the community. It might be community through these various social media, but physical community connecting.
Yeah, that physical, and say that, with people need that more physical.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's was you think you have a connection when you're on the phone. Well, I think you do in a way. Do you?
Some people do. Well, the problem is that because people are being conditioned into using these devices, that the neural structure of the brain is changing to the point where people even become afraid to actually connect with someone physically. or to speak with someone physically. They'll text because I don't feel comfortable sort of phoning or even leaving a message. They just want to sort of just text. People become phobic. They're losing the ability to sense and feel emotional intelligence, to connect and sense someone's energy and relate in that particular way. So, and particularly younger people, you see them. They can be, three or four children in a room, and they're all on their computers gaming and so forth. They're not really connecting and sharing and doing so much interpersonally. They're just connecting, through their internet connections. Even in a house, it's like some of the children are upstairs and they want to talk to their parents downstairs. Send them a text. Mom, what's for dinner? It's sad. I even see women with prams. They've got a baby in there, and the child needs to see its mother's face, learning, expression, being spoken to, but on the hold the what's it the bar of the pram, there's a phone holder, and the mother's sort of doing her sort of stuff and doing a social media and maybe talking to somebody, not talking to the baby, not looking at the baby, just looking at the phone.
The babies often turn the other way.
And sometimes the baby's even got a phone as well. So this affects the way in which the brain functions.
Not just the mother.
Not just the mother, no.
Is it?
So again, it's about being aware, and certainly, social media, phones can be really, really helpful. They're a tool, they're a device, but they need to be used skillfully. And basically, it's about looking after our mind heart, so we're not being affecting it or infecting it with things that are going to cause ultimately stress and angst and suffering and feeling a loss of meaning and joy in life. Any other thoughts or questions,
It
comments?
seems to me, John, what you're talking about is an effort that we have to keep on making for our entire life. Speaking for myself, it's so easy otherwise to get hooked.
Sure,
I remember
sure.
years ago you talked about if it bleeds, it leads, and that was just on TV. Now we've got smarter people trapping us on the internet.
Yeah. Though let's say that, yes, we need to keep on putting in the effort, but it gets easier. We're even growing our brain in that direction so that we have that mind strength so that we're less likely to be infected. Yes, maybe constant effort, but less effort's required if we've generated the generosity, kindness, wisdom as our modus operandi, and that's more about how we be in the world as opposed to the opposite. And developing healthy habits and routines and situations that support us. Thursday night meditation group. There's probably plenty of other places you could be that could be involved in other activities. But if you hear something, well, I'm looking after myself, my mind, my body on a Thursday night, supporting others. That's really healthy, really wholesome. So you would have, those of you that are on my mailing list would have got the email yesterday about the Vasa retreat, which is a Vasa meaning rains. It's a period particularly in Southeast Asia, a 3-month period of the rainy season, and where the Buddha put forth the decree that monks and nuns need to stay in a monastery or a retreat center, one place, not go wandering around the place. It's a time of retreat. It's a time of meditation, time of study and learning. And often a monastic's number of years are counted in terms of how many vasa or rains retreat they've done. And so that I make that a period of work as well. So from the full moon of July to the full moon of October, that 3-month block of time for focusing a bit more on meditation and study learning. And so we have then a non-residential retreat period. So people can come on a Sunday in July, August, September, October, that 3-month period. And we look at a particular theme for the retreat period. And so this year, 10 ways to well-being. And so we look at those over the 3 months, and I'll be sending out some notes for those that want to be part of that. So if you do want to come along, then send an email. You can either come to one or all of those four Sunday sessions, monthly apart, as a way of looking after your meditation practice, as well as Thursday nights and your home practice, of course. Thanks for coming out tonight. Good to see a few more people, and have a great evening, and see you next time. Thank you.
Yeah.